Hello, good morning students. Today we are going to see the poetry section of our syllabus. The first poem we are going to see today is Yussouf. It is written by James Russell Lowell. Yusuf is a name of character which has been described in these poems. So let's see these poems, what the quality these poems has. James Russell Lowell was an American poet, critic, and diplomat. So, before going to understand this poem, we must have a clear cut idea about the author. And our author belongs to America, and he is a poet as well as a critic and a diplomat. A professor of modern language at Harvard for many years, Lowell is one of the best known of the Fire poet, a group of poets whose poems were usually read aloud by the fireplace in the family. So person's this person was a professor of modern language at Harvard University, and he is also known as a firefight poet. So, what this firefight poet, fireside poet? Sorry, what is this fireside poet? The fireside poet is such a group whose poetry are read aloud at the fireside, and most of the times these poems are read in the family. When we go outside for travelings or tours at night, when we sit around a fire, at that time these poems, such a type of poems are read aloud. That's why it is called the fireside poet. Lowell was a prominent figure in movement to abolish slavery in the United States. So he is a prominent point in movement to abolish slavery. Slavery in मराठीमध्ये आपण त्याला गुलामगिरी म्हणतो. गुलामगिरी हटवण्यासाठी जी मुवमेंट चालू झाली होती त्या मुवमेंटचा त्या चळवळीचा लोवेल एक भाग होते. So that's why he is called the prominent figures in the movement to abolish. Abolish means to abandon, to dismiss, discontinue. In such a sense, these words can be used. He used his poetry to propagate his anti-slavery views. So, indirectly, he used his poems as a weapon to propagate his anti-slavery views. So, anti-slavery views means slavery, गुलामगिरी. गुलामगिरीच्या विरुद्ध लढवण्यासाठी जी काही विचारसरणी आहे ती विचारसरणी मांडण्यासाठी हा लेखक त्याची पोएट्रीचा वापर करतो. Now see about this poem. All of us have been hurt by peoples at some times or the other. How did we react in such situations? The obvious way is to swear revenge. We keep the flame of revenge burning till the opportunity presents itself. But here is a saintly soul called Yussouf, who chose to avenge the killer of his firstborn in different manner. The poem is celebrations of divine virtue of forgiveness. So, this is the fact that in our life, most of time we get hurt by someone else, and most of time the wounds or the hurt is so high, so deep that we consider to take revenge upon that man. It's a general tendency or a human tendency, we can say. And in such a situation, what we do? We swear revenge. Revenge means बदला. आपण काय म्हणतो बदला घेणे. एखाद्यानं आपल्याला आघात केला असेल, आपल्यावर आघात केला असेल तर त्यावर आपण काय करतो की मी त्याचा बदला घेईन अशा प्रकारे आपण स्टेटमेंट करतो. सो दिस इज द ह्युमन टेंडन्सी दॅट वेन समवन गेट हर्ट बाय समवन एल्स वी स्वेअर रिवेंज. We want to take the revenge, we want to hurt that man in the same manner. So it's a general tendency. But Here the character which has been described, that characters did a different task instead of swearing revenge. He forgive that man who has killed his firstborn. Imagine, can a man forgive to that man who has killed his firstborn, means his firstborn child? It's highly impossible, but this man has done this task. That's why this poem celebrates the virtue of forgiveness. Forgive means माफ करणे. ह्या पोएममध्ये आपल्याला असं कॅरेक्टर दाखवलेलं आहे की त्या कॅरेक्टरच्या पहिल्या मुलाला एका माणसाने मारून टाकलं, तरी हा व्यक्ती, हा युसुफ, त्याला माफ करतो. दुसरा व्यक्ती असता तर बदला घेतला असता. सो दॅट्स वाय दिस पोएम्स celebrate the virtue of forgiveness. See the actual poems, what the poem says. A stranger come to night, a stranger come one night to Yusuf's tent, saying, "Behold, one outcast and in dread, against whose life the bow of power is bent, who flies and hath not where to lay his head. I come to thee for shelter and for food." To Yusuf, called through all our tribe the good. This is the first para of these lessons, where we have 6 lines. And what it said? A stranger come to one night to Yusuf tent. So there is some tent. I think you might have heard the word tent. A temporary shelters where we can live. So one night what happens? A strangers come to Yusuf's tent. And what he said? Saying, "Behold." Behold means see. See me. And that stranger spoke to the Yusuf, and what he spoke? He says, "Behold, one outcast." Outcast means बहिष्कृत केलेला. Behold, one outcast and in dread. Dread means घाबरलेला. Against whose life the bow of power is bent. And that stranger says, "Behold me, see at me, who is the outcast man." The man is not needed to anybody. And now I am in dread, I am in fear, because my life is in danger. Against whose life the bow of power is bent, and my life is in danger. I would be killed at any moment because someone is tracing me, someone is following me, someone is chasing me in order to kill me. Whose life hath not where to lay his head. That's why I don't know where to lay my head, where to rest me, where to take rest, because my life is in danger. I come to thee for shelter and food. And in such a situations, I come to thee for what? For food and for shelter. Food, do you know the food? And shelter means सहारा किंवा ज्याला आपण म्हणतो आश्रय. So that's why I come to thee. Here this word thee indicate the you. This is a poetry language, and the word thee stand for you. So I come to you, we can say also you, but in poetry it is indicated by word thee. So I come to thee for shelter and food. To Yusuf, call through all our tribe the good. And that's why I come to you, because you are known as a good person. All our tribe, all kind of people says that Yusuf is a good man. That's why I come to you for shelter and for food, because my life is in danger. This tent is mine. And now the Yusuf said, This tent is mine, said Yusuf, but no more than it is God's. Come in and be at peace. Now Yusuf replied, This tent is mine. No doubt that this tent is mine, but it is also the tent of God. Again he said, but no more than it is God's. So it is also God's tent. Come in thee and be at peace. So come in and be at peace, and please calm down. Calm down, and you will not have any trouble in this tent. Freely shalt thou partake of all my store, as I of his whose buildeth o'er these. Our tent his glorious roof of night and day, and at whose door none ever adhere nigh. So in these lines, Yusuf says, so freely you can have peace here, freely you can move and stay in this tent, because it is also, it is not only mine, but it is also a God's tent, and because of his God we can live here. It is, and because of that we have the roof and all this facility. And the second thing is that you comes to the door of that man who has never said no to anybody. No one returned empty handed in from my house. So you come to here and you will get the peace and all you require. So here we stop, and the remaining 3 stanza we will discuss in the next video.